Now let's talk a little bit about the camera. Although the camera hardware on the S22 Ultra is identical to the S21 Ultra, camera performance is perhaps the biggest improvement for this phone this year. Main enhancements include a big pixel sensor, super clear glass and lens, detail enhancer, auto frame rate, super night solution, and adaptive pixel. Samsung says that the S22 Ultra's camera produces a vivid 108 megapixel image using a remosaic algorithm to remap pixels into a conventional RGB pattern. It uses adaptive pixel technology to merge multiple frames into one. It combines a detailed 108 megapixel image with a non-binning 12 megapixel image with more light, and this provides crisper resolution throughout the day. Pixel binning is the act of combining multiple pixels into one, and for the S22 Ultra, it's 9 pixels combined into a singular large pixel. Simply put, Nana means 9. This year's model still has the same 108 megapixel sensor, 12 megapixel ultra-wide, 3x and 10x telephoto lenses, and a 40 megapixel selfie camera. Now, all of these fancy terms may not be very important for you. The results are important, and I'm going to talk about that. The improvements are geared towards better portrait blur and edge detection, better low-light performance with Samsung's adaptive pixel technology, and enhanced video performance, which is very important for me. The camera can snap incredible selfies, but what captured my attention the most was the enhanced edge detection. Look at these pictures and you can see the camera did an excellent job, whether indoors or outdoors. The results are excellent. I'm going to do a comparison with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but before I do that, let's check out some of the pictures that I took with the front camera, including regular shots, wide-angle shots, and close-up macro shots. The Galaxy S22 Ultra's shots are detailed with good exposure, white balance, and a wide dynamic range. Colors are still a bit saturated compared to the iPhone, which has more natural colors in the shots, but you get more pleasant skin tones which are ready for social media. The ultra-wide, main, and telephoto lenses on this camera are just incredible. I mean, this is perhaps the best feature of this phone that you can't find on any other phone, including the iPhone. Look at how crisp and clear these images are at 1x, 3x, and the amazing 10x. Of course, you can also go all the way to 100x, but at that point, it looks more like a water painting and is not usable. In sunny, bright light conditions, you can notice the accurate exposure and wide dynamic range for these shots, and they look incredible. The Galaxy S22 Ultra zoom capabilities are much better than the iPhones at this point. The telephoto lenses also work well for night shots, as you can see in these pictures. I'm zooming in on this local delicacy, and you can see the details are still there at 10x. Night shots have been enhanced with the so-called nightography option. And one of the best ways I like to test camera's low-light performance is by going to the Cheesecake Factory, where their lighting condition is very challenging, even for the most advanced cameras. So check out these shots right here. You can see that the Galaxy S22 Ultra's performance is very good. Color accuracy is pretty good, but sometimes the phone oversaturates the colors just a bit, and that's probably because of the Scene Optimizer mode. Now, Scene Optimizer uses AI to intelligently optimize the shot that you take, but sometimes the phone tends to oversaturate the colors. With that being said, take a look at some of the colors seen here. They are natural, as if you are seeing them in real life. For example, this Lego picture right here is exactly the way you see it in real life. And the same goes for this coffee tray. The colors look accurate in this one too. As for macro shots, you can get incredibly close, like this one here. You can see the tiny details, and for this shot here of my hand, you can see all the tiny details of the skin, and I had no idea that skin had triangular little parts. Welcome to the microscopic world, or should I say the macro world. Even though you get amazing shots with the Galaxy S22 Ultra, I believe the main problem is consistency. Some of the close-up shots might end up being oversaturated, just like this little SD card that I have here. Check out the version on the iPhone, which looks more natural. Now let's do a comparison with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. On the left, we have the image for the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and on the right, we have the image for the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And you can tell by going to the inspector here, so this on the left is a .heic, and that's the iPhone format. You can see here, that's the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And this here is the Samsung format, which is the JPG. On the left here, you can notice that the iPhone did a good job, but I like the overall result of the Galaxy for the selfie here. And if you notice, if I zoom in on the iPhone's picture and if I zoom in on the Galaxy's picture, you can see the beard hairs on my face are more detailed than the iPhone. On the iPhone, they look faded away, and that's because on the Galaxy, you have a 40 megapixel selfie camera, and on the iPhone, you have a 12 megapixel camera. So with the Galaxy, you get a better resolution. The skin tone looks perfect. It's ready for social media. This looks better in my opinion. I like the overall result with the Galaxy here. You can see that the lighting and the texture here looks much better on the Galaxy. If you notice here, the lighting looks better. And on the iPhone, it is overexposed a little bit. And on the Galaxy, it looks more natural. It almost looks like DSLR quality, honestly. Look at this. And both phones did a very good job with edge detection, but I believe that the Galaxy S22 Ultra did a better job because the iPhone missed tiny little hair details right here. Overall result, the Galaxy did a better job, and the picture quality on the Galaxy S22 Ultra looks better than that of the iPhone. However, the iPhone's picture also looks great, and both of them are fine, but I prefer the one on the Galaxy. Let me know what you prefer down in the comments below. Next is this picture, and both phones did a really good job. If we zoom in here, and if we zoom in here on the iPhone, on the Galaxy, it's a 108 megapixel sensor, and on the iPhone, it's a 12 megapixel sensor. I'm actually very impressed with the iPhone. I mean, with a sensor that size, it's still able to keep up with the Galaxy. Look at the details here. Even though the Galaxy is slightly sharper than the iPhone, you can see here that the details are a little bit sharper. You get more details on the Galaxy, but the iPhone still did a very good job, and that's because of Apple's magical processing. So there's a lot of processing going on under the hood. And Samsung also doubled down on image processing this year. They both did a good job. However, Samsung's picture is a little darker. You can see here, the iPhone's picture is more natural. This is how it actually looked like. This one was a little bit darker, and I believe both pictures look great. Now the next photo here is very interesting. Both phones did a good job in reproducing color, but let's zoom in a little bit and see what happens. Notice that with the Galaxy's photo here, you can see more artifacts and more noise than with the iPhone. And I believe that's because Samsung is still using aggressive processing here. I prefer the result on the iPhone. There's some texture instability here, and you can see artifacts on my face. Look at that. On the iPhone, it looks better than on the Galaxy. Even though the iPhone is 12 megapixel and this is 108 megapixel, but you can see that the iPhone did a better job. And also in terms of color, the iPhone is slightly more accurate in this picture for my shirt. My shirt is not that dark in reality. It's actually this color. So the iPhone got the color of my shirt right. And in terms of image details, the iPhone wins here because it has less artifacts and less noise than the Galaxy. Now this image is very interesting because this is how I tested low light performance for both phones. You can see the subject here, the little Sonic standing here. Which one looks better to you? Now Samsung did aggressive processing here, even though the iPhone is noisier, but if you notice, on the iPhone, you still have more details here. Check out the stairs. With Samsung, you have some loss of detail here, but with the iPhone, you have more details. However, it's noisier on the iPhone, and on the Samsung, there's some aggressive processing. Check out the window here. On the iPhone, it's more blown out. Of course, with Samsung's higher resolution, the camera resolution, you can see that the text reads better, service floor. I'm not exactly sure which picture looks better, but each one has advantages and disadvantages. The first thing that I notice immediately on the iPhone is loss of detail here. You can see all this dark area right here has some loss of detail. So now let's talk a little bit about video. And video on the Galaxy S22 Ultra looks great most of the time. However, there is a slight problem. And that problem is noise. Now check out this video right here. It looks beautiful. It looks great. But generally speaking, noise is a problem, still a problem. Ever since the Galaxy S21 Ultra, you will still notice a lot of noise in the videos. And that is a big advantage for the iPhone. This is where the iPhone shines over the Galaxy. But if you look at this 4K video right here, it looks great. And we're going to be testing video stabilization in the next shot. But first, check out the noise that you can see right here at night. For the next shot, I chose the bouncy castle when I went to play with my kid to test the camera. What better way to test the camera than have so many colors around and with challenging light conditions? You can see that the Galaxy S22 Ultra is struggling here, and the iPhone is much more smooth and has much less noise. The noise on the Galaxy S22 Ultra is more visible, and that is a problem. That is the weakness for the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, I was hoping that Samsung would get rid of this problem this year. However, video noise is still there. It's a persistent issue, whether daytime or nighttime, and that is the main weakness for the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and that's where the iPhone 13 Pro Max shines. I mean, check out these shots right here. On the right side, you have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and on the left side, you have the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and you can notice how much noise is generated on the Galaxy shot. On the iPhone, it's much better looking, and even for video stabilization, I noticed that the iPhone is still doing better. Now, video stabilization on the Galaxy S22 Ultra has been enhanced tremendously, but in my opinion, I think for night shots, the iPhone is still king. Also, color accuracy on the iPhone is better than that on the Galaxy. And now let's test video stabilization during daytime on both the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And here are the results. One of the biggest enhancements that this phone got this year is video stabilization. Look at this video when I'm walking in the gym, and now I'm going to be running. Check out how stable the video is even when I go faster and faster, and I'm turning right here. Video stabilization on the Galaxy S22 Ultra got much better this year, but in my tests, that was true for daytime shots. As for the selfie camera, this is how it looks like in broad daylight. It's very crisp and very sharp. It's clear. I love the selfie camera on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. In fact, it's better than the iPhone because of the higher resolution. So this is 4K at 60 FPS with the front camera, and this is how it feels like. It's really nice. And let's check the stability. Slow motion on the Galaxy S22 Ultra has been improved, but still it looks grainy. And if you go for the super slow mode, that's even worse. That option should not even exist on a smartphone in 2022. I'm also disappointed that this year's model omitted the logical step up from the S21 Ultra, which has increased FPS for 8K recording. It still has the same 24 FPS for 8K recording, which is completely unusable. 8K recording is just there for show. It's not really usable. However, there's a positive side to this though. Samsung seems to have taken its time to perfect existing technology with better optimizations rather than rushing a half-baked product such as the under-display camera found on the Galaxy Fold phones. However, I'd say that Samsung's camera setup is the best so far on any Android smartphone. That's because you get excellent versatility with all of the lenses. If it weren't for the video recording capabilities for the iPhone, which I consider to be king, I think this phone would be the best phone overall with a camera experience. Now, Samsung's video quality is not as good as iPhone's video quality, but it has improved a lot this year.